also have the grace period too, where you might pay a little bit of interest or something like that. But you know what I'm saying? This is the flip side right there. You see how I flip like that? This is the flip. What's going on, my credit fiends? We got the laptop out. We about to be telling you guys the top 10 reasons you guys need to be using that credit card instead of a debit card. Now, I would come up with my own, but I already know. So I want to see what ChatGPT is on. So I got the laptop right here. We got the 10 reasons. ChatGPT listed them all out. I'm going to be explaining to you guys exactly what it means because it's just going to give you the information. It's not going to explain you or give you any type of scenarios like that. So I'm also going to write them on the board. Now, your credit history is important as all, because it's what's gonna help you go ahead and get those big ticket items like a car or a house or anything else that you just don't wanna use your cash for and you wanna use credit for, furniture for your house, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot of things that you have to use credit for, along with getting like approved for a place like an apartment or, you know, other things of that nature. Got a story for you guys, all right? So I went to go order some sea moss because I had just seen in the Shark Tank thing and stuff. I was like, oh, let me order some sea moss. Got straight up scammed. And if you try to go and you use a debit card and you use your own money, it's a little bit different because now they have to make sure that you did actually not make that purchase, because you have to enter your PIN number or something like that. Of course, things can be bought online, but it's a lot more of a process to get your actual money back versus the credit. It's just got the protection on there. Rewards and cash back. Okay, you might be thinking like, oh, 1%, 2%, 3%, that's nothing. But no, these things really add up if you're using them on a daily basis. If you can pay your rent, that's another thing. Today, I was almost about to go ahead and use my bank account to pay the rent, but then I remembered, why don't I use the credit cards to pay the rent? Because then I'm getting that percentage back, even if it's 1%. And let's say your rent is like $1,500 or even $2,000, that's $15 to $20. You go fill you up some gas, you know what I'm saying? Go get you some takeout, you know what I'm saying? Like something like that. That's the rewards and the cash back. That's just based off your rent. You still got other bills. You feel me? Rewards and cash back. Purchase protection. Now, what that means is that if you use that specific card, now you're gonna have to look in a little bit more deeply because certain cards won't come out and tell you, but a lot of cards do this. If you buy, let's say you buy a Mac, right? And you buy it on this specific card, they will give you up to like 90 days, basically a warranty. Like if something happens to that item, they will give you, the replacement for that item, or you can go through them to get a replacement for that item if you use that card. Now you have to look at their details. Different cards are different. Like I said, make sure you look, but they will cover it up to a certain amount of days. It's a lot of things that people don't know. This one right here, I put my own little spin onto this. It's interest-free / grace period. What this means is that certain cards, now some of them do daily balances. I know Navy Fed changed over to that, okay? They let everyone know though. But most cards, as long as you pay it in full before it's due, you won't have any interest. So like I said, with your rent or any other bills and stuff like that, you can go ahead and use the card to pay it, keep the money in your bank account. Now you're building a good relationship with the bank because your average daily balance in there is really high, right? Because you're not actually paying your bills, you're paying it with the card. That's cool right there. You could do a lot of stuff with that. You got cash on hand, you know what I'm saying? Before it's due, you pay it off, you don't have to pay interest. That's cool. And you also have the grace period too, where you might pay a little bit of interest or something like that, but you know what I'm saying? This is the flip side right there. You see how I flip like that? This is the flip side. You might have to pay a little bit of interest, but at least you have that grace period. You're not gonna get put out on the street, or your phone's not gonna get cut off or something like that. Like, yo, I got the money, but it's just coming 2 days later. All right, use the grace period. Here, number 6, travel perks. You're gonna think that is more like rewards and cash back, but it's really not. I mean, yeah, you can get points and stuff like that, but they actually do have some travel perks, meaning that whenever you go overseas, you won't have a foreign transaction fee if you use the card. Or let's say, you know what I'm saying, you're on a flight or you're on a specific airline or something like that, and you're in the airport. Some of them cards come with different lounges. You might get free food, things like that. Or you might get some travel assistance. Like Sort of like the same thing where you have the purchase protection, you got to read into it a little bit more. Same thing with this. You might have some type of assistance if you're overseas, medical payments if you're overseas. Number 7, this is really important for a lot of you out there. Emergency fund availability. Now, a lot of us don't even have an emergency fund, so you're using the credit cards whenever that happens. Whatever, that's cool too. You know what I'm saying? It's an emergency, you gotta use it, right? But emergency fund availability is you're giving yourself, like my videos, a couple videos back, the pledge loan. It's the same thing like that. You get to keep your savings in the savings. You borrow the money from the credit card, almost like if you said, hey mom, or hey dad, or brother, sister, whoever, and you say, hey, let me hold this. Okay, I still have my money, but I'll pay you back, or do this to do that, do this to do that. I have to make it clear. The disputes are easy, okay? If you can get an inquiry off your credit in 24 hours from Equifax, and you can also, this is just like that, okay? Compare that to this. This is like, you can get your whole money back a lot easier than a debit card, okay? I'm just making that, I have to make that double clear, because you get fraud protection because they're saying, okay, you're not responsible for any of the payments or any of the things that come off this card if it wasn't you. But on a debit card, they might not have that type of protection like that, where they're having fraud protection, like you're not responsible for this. Like they might be like, yo, you're responsible over this certain amount or under this certain amount or whatever the case is. But the disputes are a lot easier because, I mean, a credit card doesn't have a PIN. It doesn't have certain securities like a lot of the debit cards have. Therefore, it's easy. You get your money back. They're better for large purchases. I go to say this because of all of these things, like the rewards and everything. Like I told you, the cash back that you get is better in that way to use your card and get all of that stuff back. But not only that, you also are able to get something reversed, or you know what I'm saying, you have an easier dispute, things like that. So let's say you go somewhere and you pay someone on Cash App like $5,000, or on some other app or something, $5,000, you pay a website $5,000. You didn't just pay that just straight cash. Okay, there's no getting that back. You ain't getting that back, I'm telling you that right now. But if you paid them using your credit card, now you have a chance to get that back. Now there's stuff on record, blah, 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 you know what I'm saying? They can see where this hit, where that went. YouTube doesn't really like whenever I say free money or something like that, but essentially the sign-up bonuses, which is number 10, is them giving you money, okay? You got the 0% interest for 18 months or 20 months or whatever the case is. That's saving you a lot of money versus having a 24% interest rate or a 30% interest rate, or even higher for some people. Okay, that 0% interest, or let's say you use $3,000 within the first 90 days, we'll give you $200. That's a free $200. You and your spouse do that, now you got $400, or you do it for them, or whatever the case is, however much it is, okay? There's sign-up bonuses. It's essentially them trying to get you to get used to using the card or whatever the case is, and sign up for this card and we'll do this for you. Eventually, you're gonna end up paying me back this if you use it the way that I want you to use it. The creditor wants you to use it, which is pay interest on it, so that way they can make money to pay other people to get more people to do the whole thing over again. Free moolah. All right, guys, keep feeding for that credit. That's all I got for you guys today. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know exactly what you guys want to see and stuff like that, because sometimes I'm just coming up with my own ideas, or like this one right here. This is a nice ChatGPT, seeing what ChatGPT had to offer. Let me know down below what you guys want to see, if you have a request or if you like the way this is going. Like that, you know what I'm saying? Leave a thumbs up, you know what I'm saying? Subscribe if you ain't subscribing, because yo, there was 9 people that watched the other video and they didn't even subscribe, but I understand it, I get it. Not everybody subscribes. As soon as you see a video, you might just be on that one video, you know what I'm saying? You might like me for Navy Fed, you might like me for USA, I don't know, but you let me know.